Correct.
Did you share a locker room with Lia Thomas?
Yes. The NCAA, of course, we competed against Thomas, but we were not forewarned beforehand that we would be sharing a locker room with Lia. We did not give our consent. They did not ask for our consent. But in that locker room, we turned around and there's a 6'4" biological man dropping his pants and watching us undress. And we're exposed to male genitalia.
I want to tell you about Save the Storks, which is a nonprofit organization that I absolutely love. And before I get into Save the Storks, I'm going to tell you right now that abortion is supported by cowardice men and women who are irresponsible. That's what abortion is. Cowardice men and irresponsible women. And I honestly believe that one of the biggest sins that we have committed against our own people and against God is the sin of aborting unborn children. These women deserve the truth. They deserve support. They don't deserve to be pushed into murder. Save the Storks. If you become a monthly partner, you are helping them do a great work. One thing I love about Save the Storks is the Stork bus. Literally, they pull up right in front of a Planned Parenthood, right in the area of a Planned Parenthood, and so many women who are on the path to Planned Parenthood to end their pregnancy. In their heart, they know that this is not what God has called them to do, and they're hoping that they can find a better way. And they run into a Stork bus, and they see the signage, they see the help, they see the opportunities, and there it goes. They go in the bus, they get an ultrasound, the mom can get love and care and have the education that she needs, all for free, because of generous people like you and I who give monthly. So go to SaveTheStorks.org right now. Save the Storks, STORKS.org, and sign up and become a monthly partner. Lia Thomas, the dude that decided he was going to be a woman just so he can break the necks off of these women in swimming and break all kind of records by 30 seconds, which is absolutely unheard of and would never happen in the history of womendom. This fool, and let me just say, I want to be a good Christian. I don't want to call people fools. This person, I don't believe is acting in good faith, because if you really loved women and you want to look out for women and you want to be a part of the female sphere of influence, you should love women enough to know that what you're doing is hurting women. But these people are selfish, and they're falling to their own lusts, and they couldn't give a F about these women. They're only looking out for their own best interest. Why do you say that, Brandon? Anybody that have been swimming most of their career as a man, getting their butts kicked, then convert to being a woman, you know when you went to practice that you out here smashing these women, you know that you have an unfair advantage, brother. For you to do that and then get in the locker room and do what this young lady is about to show you. I got the clip. Young lady Riley Gaines is going to tell you that this dude did in the locker room. If you doing all that, you ain't in it for the right reasons. You're in it for selfish motivation and selfish gain. Let you guys listen to clip 1 from Riley Gaines about Lia Thomas.
One of the things that you are campaigning against with the NCAA is to make sure that men who have transitioned to be a woman do not share the same locker room as female athletes.
Correct.
Did you share a locker room with Lia Thomas?
Yes. The NCAA, of course, we competed against Thomas, but we were not forewarned beforehand that we would be sharing a locker room with Lia. We did not give our consent. They did not ask for our consent. But in that locker room, we turned around and there's a 6'4" biological man dropping his pants and watching us undress. And we're exposed to male genitalia. And so that,
because
to me,
he hasn't had surgery, gender-affirming surgery.
Correct. At the time, correct. And so that, to me, was worse than the competition piece. not even probably a year or 2 years ago, this would have been considered some form of sexual assault, voyeurism. But now, not even are they just allowing it to happen, it's almost as if these large organizations are encouraging it to happen. Of course, after our NCAA championships, the NCAA then nominated Thomas for NCAA Woman of the Year. So we're celebrating this movement. This isn't something that happened by chance on a one-off basis. They're encouraging men to compete in women's sports.
I'm glad she's standing up. I need to get Riley on my show. I want to talk to her about this, but she could not be more correct. They're pushing this. You got a man dropping his drawers in the women's locker room. And look, he still got the thing down there. And you know what's funny is I could have sworn it was Lia Thomas or one of these fools. He still date women. So he's in heaven with a bunch of women with their clothes off and him dropping his drawers right in front of him. Won't even put a towel on. Don't even go to the bathroom and change out so he's not offending them. He dropping his thing right in front of the women. You know, when you go into the locker room, you're pulling your junk out in front of women, and you know it's funny to me. It's like, bro, you've been a man for a long time. It's not like you've been a woman this whole time and you don't understand what genitalia is. And you know the funny thing is that I would like to know, and I know it's none of my business, but I would like to know for the sake of argument, that was Lia Thomas having relations with women before he decided to be a girl? Were you having relationships with women? So therefore you are attracted to women at some point, because you know the machine don't turn on if it ain't attracted to the woman. So if your machine is working and you're dating women, you are consciously aware of sexual relationships between men and women. Then you turn around and you want to be a woman now with the same knowledge of sexual relationships with women and that connection, whether you were prolific at it or not. And then you get in the locker room and you drop your drawers as if you don't know what that can create in a locker room environment. This is what made me mad about these people. And you want to be nice to them and you want to try to not to be mean. You want to be loving. But y'all going way too far, man. Y'all doing way too much. Doing that and going in the locker room and making these women feel that way, it is shameful. It's the same way when they talk about the football players that's coming out gay. Bruh, if you are gay, keep that to yourself in the locker room. I don't want to know that every time I go to the shower, you looking at me like I'm a fruit snack. You looking at me like I'm a piece of chicken. That makes me uncomfortable. And nobody on this radio that's listening to me now can say that if a man in his mind is attracted to men, that's not a problem in the male locker room. Bruh, we get naked in there. I don't know if y'all know. In the football locker room, we get naked, right? We get naked in there. We go take a shower. We all straight, so we ain't looking at each other genitals. But if you gay, you in prime time. This is a fantasy world for you. You can see nothing but naked men in there. They've been working out all day in the best shape of their lives. That is no different than if a man goes into a locker room full of women. See, can I keep it real? That's like a man going, that's like when I was in college, 18-year-old Brandon wasn't saved. All right, let me add that part on there. And somebody say, every day, Brandon, when you take a shower, you go shower with the volleyball players. You go shower with the softball players. Bruh, that is a conflict of interest. And there's some good-looking women. Just keep it real. If you're a man, you will find at least one of them attractive. I had a kid with one of them, so they attractive. So with that being said, there is a conflict when you are a man and you're attracted to men and you in the male locker room. This is why for years there have probably been dudes that have been gay in the locker room and you just keep it to yourself because it get real weird in there. And we knew there was some guys on the team that was suspect. Like, oh man, homeboy, I don't know about him. He probably, he probably be hanging out with some dudes on the weekend. But we leave that personal stuff out of there and we just play football. That's the way it should be. But when you have camaraderie, teamwork, all of those things are invaluable in order to be a winning team. And when you're willing to thrust a man in the locker room with women without their consent, without prior warning, messing up the cohesion of the team, you really don't give a care. You guys are pushing an agenda. And I don't know how so many people fall for it. It's easy to me. It's easy for me. It's easy for me to call it like I see it. You know, I say, no, you can't. No, you ain't playing on a women's team. If you made up in your mind that you confused about what you're doing, then you need to go work that out with God. You don't need to be on no team. You don't need to be doing none of that stuff. You need to go talk to God about it, and you need to go work that out. You know, unfortunately, everybody can't have everything in life.